Man, what's going on? It's your boy Brenda Berg, man. Just getting with you guys, man. Thank you for coming back on the share. I really want to talk more about the micro economy and more of this new type of action of segregation, or I would say a new form of um, a self enforcement of the Jim Crow laws. And the reason why I would say that, 'cause I know back in they had an incident in Starbucks about two black men getting arrested because the employees or the manager, um, because they wasn't buying nothing that they should not be in the establishment. So I really want to jump more into that because Um, and just as well the white woman um, leading to her white husband that a brother was somewhat doing something that he was not doing, but she made it presume the role he was doing, and it's a lot of deceptions, but it's also a self voluntarily move to enforce Jim Crow, and I think that's a big deal because it's happening more and more, and it's happening every day, but it's happening more and more frequently than it should be. Like there's a lot of racial motivated people that's really doing these out, out in the public that's really just defacing black people, like black faces. Um, people even jumping, people segregating you. Some people, um, racial profile from police. It's a lot of things. It's basically a soft voluntarily um, act of old laws that used to be the norm back in America during like the 1800s all the way to the early and maybe mid 1900s, and that's something that a lot of black people gotta understand. You can't really be denied to this. You can't be in denial because right now denial equals death. If you ain't not if you're not aware that the environment and the social climate is something that's not favoring you, you gotta have to know this because this is life and death. Um, like I told a lot of people, like you know, global war is also a race war. Many wars from the beginning of time to now is not really start from politics. Now politics derive from something that is the racial relations. You know what I'm saying? So racial relations and politics will always go hand in hand. You have to understand politics is racial is politics. Um, like um, like I told a lot of people about there's a lot of black faces going on, and people know that blackface is disrespectful to black people globally, not just here but globally. And if they still do it, it's not just a ten of them doing it, but as if say they're in a position they can influence a younger generation doing it, then that's where it's detrimental to um, and also I carry the torch of white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? So they're children's already learning this from home, but they're also learning it in a government institution. So racism is already institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? That's just giving a better reinforcement in that child's mind that yes, I need to be a participant in white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? When they need to get on code, they get on code. But like I said, I mean they do, um, and this is a everyday occurrence. It's not like an isolated incident. This is an everyday occurring. So, like I said, man, you had laws that was already institutionalized in the government. Then the people, eventually changed that. Now, instead of becoming normal, it's an abnormalcy, or a lot of people say odyssey. And I tell a lot of people, a lot of those laws is now, even though it's still an abnormalcy, but in Americanism, it's about to become a normalcy. You know what I'm saying? You already have a lot of establishment that's white owned and everything, starting to enforce a segregation policy. You know what I'm saying? So it's not clearly widespread, but there's pockets. You know what I'm saying? The biggest segregation policies is based in communities or in schools. Um, so this is right now what black people gotta understand. We're always gonna be under Jim Crow. Jim Crow is an unmentioned law. It's a law that they never really took off. If they did took off the book, they never took out the minds. So a lot of people, what they think of in their inner self, they are practicing the old laws of old, the laws of old, like Jim Crow, so forth. You had the Fugitive Slave Acts, you had a lot of slave laws, and goes down, and it kind of goes down the line. The intent to kill black children. Black children is not really deemed as children. It was never deemed, like they never, when they kill a black person, it didn't matter if there was a baby, to a woman, to a man, to elder, or whatsoever. You are a black person. You are a melanoid person. They have two goals. They're going to enslave or they're going to destroy. That's the two choices you have in the matter. Um, and I think a lot of blacks need to understand this. Why some people, even before, like since the the Marcus Garvey movement, the Herbert Harrison movement, there were some black people that was fighting to be separatists. Even at that time, you have to develop a microeconomy for yourself. That's how you should survive. You know what I'm saying? That's how you're gonna regain resources that was taken from you from the beginning. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a claim. But in the same way, you need to understand the threat and to act accordingly to the threat. And a lot of black people don't want to really deal with the threat because it's just a lot of black people rather ignore or just tolerate racism, and it's just not working no more. Because I'm thinking, I told my sister, and I told many other people, when you think about this race war is global. You know what I'm saying? This is a global agenda that's going on. Even environmental, it's still tied in to a globalization, but into also it's tied into race relations as well. Like I was talking about about the land degradation and how the land is so badly um, used up and destroyed that it can't support life. You know what I'm saying? That about 30, 40 years from now, we might be in a global race war. You could say World War III all you want, but it's a race war. The 10% of usable land is going to be Africa or South America. Now you could tell Southern Africa and South America it's a lot of non-people, a lot of non-white people there, especially Africa. So there's going to be a race war, you like it or not. It's going to be a global war, you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? So, environment, policies, race relations, they all tied to the same thing. The thing I say about microeconomies is that a specific group basically rely on their own foundations and gathering their own resources just for themselves. That's a microeconomy. That means you're self-sustaining, you're self-supported. That's the only way you're going to survive in the future. Now, I don't know what the currency is going to be. I hopefully it don't take that way. The currency as we know would be destroyed, but you have a foundation. You can set your own currency. That's a microeconomy. Um, but I told a lot of people, it's a lot of things going on. I mean, I was going to touch about Houston because Houston's going through is going about to go through the same exact problem, and also with ignorant, because you got the dominant side of the people in power. And I know we got a black mayor, we got a few black people in the city council, but it's majority white or European. All right, they now people told them that you're gonna have to start zoning. Houston don't want to zone. If they zone, it's gonna stifle off their construction economy and their building economy, because Houston is a constant building. It's a constant building. You know what I'm saying? You start zoning, that means certain places can't be built or developed. You know what I'm saying? That means some of the places in Houston is going to be stifled. And they don't want that. It's money. Building is money. Construction is money. But in the flood, you might have to do this. Now, they're talking about building huge tunnels underneath the city to pump out water. Let me tell you, I told you, New Orleans got those pumps. Couple cities got pumps. Do it work? Not really. Because if it worked, we would never have a flood problem ever. Never. Never. You can have category 5s come here every day, and no city would be flooded if there was a pumps and a water canal or water pipe type system. But that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? The case is that you need to just go and embrace this is what reality is going to be. This is what the norm is going to be. This is what the climate of the weather and the intensity is going to be. But as humans, they do not want to understand, or they refuse to understand. And this is also going back to land degradation. Because yes, Texas got a lot of land that is useless. Very useless. Can't even support life. Alright? So, and I tell this to a lot of people, Texas is a big state, but at least 60% of the state is useless. Nothing can grow. You got a few plants that is designed to live in those harsh elements. So they can survive in what little they have. But as human beings, we're not built like cactus or certain type of tumbleweeds, or we don't have that type of anatomy that we can survive in desert type climate with not much food or not much water. All right. So it's a lot of ties to this. I mean, um, the murder, like I said, teach your kids, because this is a different climate right now. This is going back to almost old days. Where a white person can kill you with impunity. So as black people, you need to teach your children that you are in a global war. You're in a global war. You don't need to be in a country to be in a global war. You don't need to be in the country. So developing a microeconomy and develop a black code with consequences and punishment, um, uh, and technically in place is what you're going to need to survive. Because in the future, it's going to get worse. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. But like I said, man, I'm gonna definitely hit the likes, hit your comments below. We can chop this up, and I'll try to get with you guys later. All right, one.